The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's bMighty2 marketing webinar. We're excited to have you all here. My name is Craig Kamara, and I'm the lead generation director here at bMighty2. Before we begin, I just want to take a moment and introduce my co-host, Holly Grundon. Holly is the creative director here at bMighty2. Thank you, Holly. Thank you for coming.
Thanks, Craig. It's great to be here. This month, we want to talk about, as I like to put it, becoming a marketing superstar. And here at bMighty2, we understand that many business owners have a lot on their plate running their business. And when it comes to marketing, a lot of these business owners can start to feel a bit overwhelmed. And it's easy to push the marketing off to the side and ignore it because you get so entrenched in the day-to-day activities. So for this webinar, Craig and I will be talking about 5 easy steps that you can take to put you in the mindset of marketing.
So before we begin, I just wanted to mention that if any time during the webinar you have a question, please write it into the panel or toolbar on the right of your screen, and then at the end of the presentation, we'll answer as many questions as we can. So to begin, one of the biggest marketing problems that we see business owners running into is that they tend to think only so far as the day ahead of them. And marketing is really the process of growing and expanding your business. So in order to do so, a business needs to change the way he or she thinks about the future.
And when we talk about thinking strategically, we're talking about 3 concepts: goals, strategies, and tactics. And in order to grow your business and to get where you want to be, these 3 concepts need to work in harmony. So to help you gain an understanding of what we mean by goals, strategy, and tactics, we put together a little infographic to explain these concepts.
So let's start by talking about your goal. When you go about setting your goal, we're talking about a goal that's anywhere 3 to 5 years into the future. And you really need to think this way to grow your business. If you're constantly just looking just a month or even just a month in advance, or even just a week in advance, your growth is going to be very small. So when you set this goal, it really has to be lofty. And so my advice to you is you need to make this goal something that's almost absurd and seems almost unattainable. And this is really how you're going to grow your business to that big level that you want it to be at. You got to set that bar high and stick to it.
That's right, Craig. And while that goal may seem lofty and unattainable now, once you break your goal into strategies and tactics, it'll start to feel more attainable and not so overwhelming. So let's think about strategy. Let's think of the strategies as paths that move you towards your goal. And let's say your goal is to grow your revenue by 200% over the next 3 years. That'd be a good example. You can start to think of strategies that'll help you achieve that goal. For instance, one strategy could be how to become an expert in your field. Another strategy could be to create a cohesive online presence. The idea here is that you'll have more than one path to carry you to your goal.
So when you're looking at this, Holly, how many paths would you say you need to get to your goal? I mean, we have three on the graphic here, but how many do you think should a business take? How many paths should they take to get to that goal?
That's a very good question, Greg. Obviously, you don't want to have 20 different strategies, and it would become very overwhelming. And which path do you take? So you want to, I would say, anywhere from 2 to maybe 5 strong strategies that lead you to your goal. And, from there, you're going to apply your tactics to each strategy.
Right. Yeah, and you really don't want to overwhelm yourself with too many strategies. But you also need to try multiple methods of generating your sales as well. So if we're thinking of strategies as the path to get to your goal, we can think of tactics as the stepping stones along that path to get to where you want to go. And these tactics should be really tangible deliverables that are going to help you move down that strategic path towards your goal. So, for example, let's take that example of becoming known as the expert in your field. So you could start off by writing and promoting a white paper download about a topic in your field. And you could give this out for free, have it up on your website, and it's really going to show that you are the expert in your field. So, and then going further down, the next stepping stone could be turning that white paper into a book, which is going to even further establish your expertise. And then from there, you could lead some seminars and so on. As you complete each tactic, you're going to move yourself further down that strategic path towards your goal.
So by setting that big, lofty goal and breaking it into the strategies and tactics, you can make that lofty goal will seem not so unattainable and more doable. So our advice would be to take some time and have maybe your whole team or your whole staff step back away from your business, work together to create a vision and a goal, and then break that goal into strategies, and then from those strategies determine what your tactics are going to be. And then once you have decided on all your strategies and tactics, you want to attach a date to those tactics to help you stay on track and to help you stick to it.
Yeah, and actually at the end of the webinar, we're going to be sending out an email with some worksheets and documents attached. And one of those worksheets is a document that's going to help you come up with your goal, your strategies, and the different tactics. So we hope that comes into use for you. So let's move on now to our second point, and this is one that we find businesses forget a lot. So when you're marketing or selling your products, you need to make sure that you're selling the benefits of your products and services and not just their features.
So you might be asking yourself, what's the difference between a feature and a benefit? And a lot of business owners have trouble defining this difference between the two. So we're going to try and break this down for you. So let's look at what is a feature. And a feature is, let's actually just look at an example. Let's take a pair of sneakers, for example. If you were just to describe the features of that product, you might say, well, they're blue sneakers. They have a really cool stripe on the side. They have rubber soles. They look really cool on my feet when I wear them, and they're waterproof. But for some customers, this might not be enough to sell the sneakers. You may need to take it a step further to paint the picture and paint that picture in their head about how the features of the product will benefit them.
Yeah, so if you were to sell the benefits of these sneakers, you could explain to the customer that the materials in the shoes are designed specifically to make you run faster, jump higher. You could even say something like they're the most comfortable shoes on the market. It's like wearing slippers all day. So you really want your customer to not only picture the product and its features, but you want them to picture themselves actually using and benefiting from it.
So let's be clear so everybody understands the benefit from a feature. A feature is what the product looks like or what it does, and the benefit is the advantage or the profit the customer will gain from that product. And essentially, the question you need to answer for your customer is, why is this product worth my money? And if you can answer that question for your client, you'll be able to if you can answer that question for your client, you'll be able to answer. So with all your marketing and sales efforts, answering that question, whether it's on your website or in an email campaign or any print materials that you're producing, it could be even on your social media, or even down to a brick and mortar store and your sales employees, make sure that they are selling the benefits of your products and services and not the features.
So this is going to bring us to point number 3, which is one of the biggest marketing faux pas that we see businesses falling into. And this is the idea that marketing is all about selling your products and services to new customers. Often we see businesses forget about marketing to the customers they already have. So while acquiring new customers is still really important, you gotta establish strong relationships with your clients, and this should really be one of your number one priorities with your marketing.
So let's take a look at how you can turn new customers into advocates. And we put together a little timeline here, stepping you through that process. So if you start with your new customer, comes in the door, they love shopping with you, you have a great store, or you offer some really great services, and they're going to turn, your goal is to move them to a repeat customer. And a repeat customer is going to come in, they again love what you have to offer, but they still may shop elsewhere. So your next goal is to take that repeat customer and turn them into a loyal customer. And the big difference between a repeat customer and a loyal customer is a loyal customer is going to shop exclusively with you. And then once they're a loyal customer, there's a nice overlap. They're really becoming an advocate of your business. They're going to go out and tell all their friends and families how great your store is, or your shop, or your services that you offer. So they're really spreading the word about your business and completing that circle and starting a whole new group of new customers.
Right. And not only are you going to create more sales from these advocates, but marketing to existing clients is on average about 7 times less expensive than marketing to new clients.
And that's a great return for very little investment.
Yeah. So a great way to start the transition of your clientele into advocates is to start a referral program. And when you send out news of your referral program, it's a really good idea to include it within a personalized thank you note. And the referral program within that thank you note is a really simple and easy way to kind of achieve 2 tasks at once. So first off, the thank you note it's really a quick and easy way to keep your customer base engaged with your business. It's going to show your customers that they're really grateful, that you're really grateful for their business, which is really going to go a long way for bringing them back on for repeat sales.
And here's a quick example. We're starting a new referral program here at bMighty2. So whenever a new client comes on board, our COO sends out a nice handwritten thank you card, and we've got a referral program in there. And so when a business refers another business to sign on with us, the new client receives a discount on their package of services, but our existing client also receives a thank you, a $50 credit towards services. And it's a great way to provide an incentive to your clients and help them and thank them for really becoming advocates and talking about your business.
Yep. So, Holly, want to introduce the 4th point here?
Yep. So our 4th point is on the steps to becoming a marketing superstar is, I think, one of the best kept secrets in the marketing world. And so let's talk about creating marketing content that will help you market your business.
So actually, when we were putting together this webinar, our COO, Brian, was actually looking over the slides, and he used a really great analogy for content writing. And he called content writing the secret sauce of the marketing world. And actually, this is such a great analogy because like a great sauce that's going to hold a dish together, content is really what holds together your marketing.
And I'll leave that to Brian to come up with a restaurant analogy. So yes, there's so much value in creating strong content. When you can create, good, strong content, it's going to build credibility for your business. It's going to create interest in your business, which will bring sales leads.
Yeah, and having strong content that you can give out or that people can find when they go to your website, it really shows that you know what you're doing. And this is really going to help you get far in becoming that expert in your field.
That's right. It can attract attention and drive people to want to find out more about what you do.
And in the world of online marketing, strong, helpful content is one of the biggest factors in determining your site's SEO rankings. So you really need to develop that strong content and have it on your website.
So let's look at the different types of content that you can create. There are a ton of different types of content that you can implement into your marketing. You can create things such as a blog post or just the basic content on your website, white papers. You can do email newsletters. You can do some print offline. Well, actually, yes, you can do some feature. You can feature a client on your website. Your offline marketing could consist of some postcards and flyers. You could do some guest blogging on other sites. It's a great way to kind of show your expertise. And videos are another option for a type of content marketing.
Yeah, and when we're talking about videos are really such a great tool for marketing your business because not only are they really fantastic for SEO value, they're really an easy way to build some expertise about your business. If your audience is able to relate a face and a personality to your business through a video, it really creates a much more trusting environment for trying to sell them a product or a service.
So this brings us to our fifth point, which is tracking your marketing. And you need to track your marketing campaigns, everything that you do, every effort that you do, and all of your marketing. You need to track every step. So with whatever different marketing strategies you conduct, you need to track its success. With Google Analytics, you can track who's visiting your website, where they're coming from, what they're clicking to. With email marketing, you can track how many open rates you get, click rates, any type of social sharing or forwarding of your campaigns. So you can track likes, and all the way down to social media. Facebook, if you have a business Facebook page, you have a lot of analytics in that back end that helps you kind of see who's coming to your site and what they're doing.
Right. And actually, from our friend Bob Kessner, who watched last month's webinar, he pointed out that it's even possible to track your print media and your direct mail as well. So really the point is you need to be tracking everything that you do. And actually, a term that I like to use when it comes to monitoring your marketing is to track and adapt. So not every marketing campaign you're going to use is going to work spectacular. And by tracking your marketing, you're going to be able to find out which campaigns are working well and which aren't working so well. And if something isn't working so well, you need to focus your energy away from it. And you need to try other new campaigns. And over time, as you try these new campaigns, you're going to be able to figure out which are the best ways to reach your target market. And this is going to make you an extremely efficient marketer and get the most out of your marketing dollar.
So let's take a look at what we would like for you to take away from this webinar. Craig, you want to start?
Sure. The first point we talked about was thinking strategically, really reaching big with that goal. Set it really lofty, and then you need to break that goal up into strategies and then into tactics and attach a date to that tactics, which is going to make that goal seem not so lofty. And then the second point that we talked about was selling your product's benefits and not just their features. You really need to paint a picture into your customers' minds of what the product is going to benefit for them, what profit are they going to get out of them, and why is it worth their money.
The third thing we talked about is building strong relationships, how you can constantly be working to turn your first-time customers into advocates of your business. We also talked about starting a referral program of some sort to kind of market your business. The fourth point we talked about is content, creating content for your business, that it is the secret sauce to marketing, and how the different types of content that you can create. Everybody, I think, always thinks of blogging or posting news to your website or just your website content, but there are other types of content that could really do your business a lot of good in the marketing world.
And the final point we talked about was tracking all of your marketing and then adapting to it. So you need to find out what campaigns that you're trying aren't working so well, which are working well. Focus on the ones that are working well and try new campaigns, and then over time you're gonna figure out which ones are working best for you, and you're gonna become an efficient marketer.
So after this webinar, you're going to receive an email in your inbox, and in this email you'll find a link to download a little workbook that we put together. And in that workbook, it covers a couple of key things for you. It talks about strategies, actually goals, strategies, and tactics, and there's a worksheet on that. And then we also have a worksheet about the benefits and features and how you can.
With this document, you're going to be able to list all your products and services, list their features, and then list the benefits that your customers are going to get from those. And it's really a helpful tool to try and to really focus your marketing and sales efforts towards those benefits rather than those features.
And then you can create content around those benefits.
Right. And so we also just wanted to mention that we don't just build awesome websites, but we're also a full suite. We offer a full suite of online marketing services. So if you're having trouble thinking of what to write about your content, you really don't have time to write your content, give us a call and we can try and figure out how we can help you write that content. All right. So, go ahead, Holly.
Go ahead.
So now we just want to take some time to answer some questions. The first question that we have here comes from David, who is asking, how often should I blog? So
that's a great question.
Yeah.
So I think blogging. There are a couple of things that you need to remember. When you blog or you post news to your website, it's great for SEO. It's keeping you kind of current and relevant. And if you can maybe post once a week to your website, that's probably a good place to start.
Right.
You can also do some things like tie in, if your business has a Facebook page, for example, you could tie in your blog post to feed to your Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can supplement your Facebook with kind of shorter bits of
and again, really a good point for someone who's new to writing content for the marketing is start off by writing one piece of content a week, and that's a really good jumping off point.
And that content you don't have to think about a blog or a news post as being this big dissertation or book. It doesn't have, it can be short and sweet.
Right. And what you could do is you can grab a calendar and just plan out your blog posts maybe for the next month, or the next 2 months, and just like go through that calendar and write the different topics that you want to talk about in your blog, and then really stick to it. That's why it's really important to kind of not take on too much as way too
at
much
once.
at once. So you can really plan out your marketing in that way.
And I think putting it on a calendar, it helps you actually get it done and not just push it off to the side and ignore it.
Right.
So
we have a question here from Daniel, who asks, does a niche service have a marketing edge or special challenges? And so really, I think the marketing edge that a niche service has is that you really are something that other people aren't providing. Other people don't offer the services that you have to offer. So
you're
really
a very specific market.
Right.
So I think, you do have a marketing edge because you're going to become the expert in that field, and you want to create content that's going to show all your knowledge about that niche market.
Right.
So I think there is that is good for some marketing concepts there.
All right, so another question we have here comes from Jeff, who's still unsure about the difference between a benefit and a feature. So do you want to use another example then to try and explain?
I do. I have an example.
Okay.
So my example is I've been looking at this bag online that I want to buy, and it's like all the latest rage. It's really big. I think it's going to look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
So is because the bag is really big, is that a feature or a benefit, Craig?
Well, I think the fact that the bag is big is a feature.
Okay.
And what you can say the benefit of having that big bag is you can fit all the things that you want to carry with you into that bag. You can fit all of them in there. And like if the bag has a whole bunch of different pockets within it, you could say that would be the feature, but the benefit would be that you can keep all your stuff that you're carrying with you organized. You can always find it when you need it. So
like I need to be able to find my cell phone really quick and fast.
There's a specific pocket for it. So the benefit would be you're going to be able to find your stuff right away.
Yes.
And again, you're going to get that workbook from us, which is going to help lay out the different benefits of each of your products.
So let me recap. The feature is it's going to keep me the benefit is it's going to keep me organized.
Right.
The feature is it's nice and big.
Right. Exactly.
Excellent. So let's see. We have another.
So
question.
we have another question here from Jen, who says, I have a referral program, and I've had this program for a year and have had not one referral card come back to me. How do you figure out what you've done wrong? And really, I think if it's not working, again, this goes back to tracking your marketing. If it's not working, try something else.
Yes.
I think what's really important with the referral card is you really want to be creative with the incentive that you're providing to bring those referrals in. like for us, obviously cash is a great incentive, but
Yes.
you can also be really, really creative. And we've seen referral programs that offer like a drawing into getting an iPad mini or a car or other
Yes.
things like that, or even like in a cafe, you can.
It could be something as simple as, you know, you buy your 10 cups of coffee and the 11th one is free.
Right.
You know, that's a smaller kind of incentive. But it, you know, I think just looking at that program and going back to the tracking and adapting and trying something new might be an option.
Yeah.
And we can talk further with you about that, Jen, if you need to.
Yeah. So we have time for one more question here. This comes from Lisa, and she's asking, how far into the future should you set your goal? And I think we already briefly touched on this, but you really don't want to set your goal so far into the future that you can't see yourself there, like in the near future. But like, so let's say you don't want to set your goal to be 20 years into the future, obviously. What a good time frame would be somewhere between maybe 3 to 5 years, where it's so far off in the distance that but it's not so far off in the distance that you can't really see yourself getting there. And then once you have that goal, again, you need to break it up into those strategies and tactics and
Right.
make it seem less unattainable.
Yes, and remember that when you're doing when you're setting that goal, and to keep your strategies to 3, 4, or 5 strategies, and then your tactics, you know, you'll have more tactics that help you complete that strategy.
Right. All right. Well, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Thank you. Well, okay, so thanks for joining us. We wanted to keep this webinar under 30 minutes because we know it's lunchtime and everybody's got things to do. Remember that once the webinar is over, we will be sending out the email link so that if you want to watch this again, you'll be able to do so. We'll also include the link to download the PDF with more information.
Right. And so thanks again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.